Jo, it's a meeting with us. Great. Good seeing you. You too. Have a cup of tea together. Yes, thank you for taking the time to come down from the sunshine. I know. It's so nice to come down and visit. Yeah. So we're going to have a bit of a chat about retreats because we've got some retreats coming up and we were having a conversation about that and really what retreats do for you, why it's important to have a retreat. You got any feelings about that? How do you feel at a retreat?
My experiences of coming together in retreat is, for me, I've always come away with the sense of expansion in my consciousness, but the experience of doing your type of work with the masters and receiving frequency when you're with a group.
Yeah.
I have always felt that when I'm receiving frequency in a group, it's so much easier for me to drop more deeply than what I would if I was doing the work by myself or my own inner work. And so when we come together in group, it's almost like an acceleration of your own inner work, what we can move through, or in my experience, what I've been able to move through and come into understanding, even when it comes to needing to let go of things. I've just found that coming to do that together in group is what might take me 6 months to do by myself.
You can do really quickly in sand-week retreat or a 5-day retreat. Yeah,
Why is that?
It's one of the reasons I hold retreats, because these days we do so much on Zoom. Everything's on Zoom. But so we're not meeting as a group anymore. We don't have that beautiful co-creative energy of coming together as people, taking time out of our world, our life, whatever that is, and usually really busy.
Yes.
And so we don't have time sometimes to go into that really deep space. But when you come into a retreat, you let go of all that and you come in and you've got time to spend with each other. And firstly, it's great just to get together with other people, because I think we really need that. And in our work, we do. That connection is so important. I know I love it. And the other thing that I see, and this is what the masters have guided me to for many, many years, is that when we work in a group in an intensive way like that, as we do in the retreat, we're coming together as pillars of light. And so we always work in a circle, So we come together and we sit together in a circle. And there's all these beautiful pillars of light in the circle of all the people who come to work together. And they've made that choice. And so all their pillars of light are there. So then you've got this beautiful circle of light, which supports everybody. It supports me in the channel, and it supports all the people who are there. So whatever you're going to do, whatever your focus might be, or whatever you're asked to do in that retreat, and every retreat is different, and there's always different work that is done for you personally, it's being supported by the light of everybody else. And hence, it's like, a 6 months 6 months work is done in 5 days in an intense sort of concentration. And it's very gentle because you're really being supported in that.
Yeah. The other thing that I've experienced for myself, certainly in my earlier years of coming to retreats with you, the vulnerability and the fear that can sit there around meeting feelings and emotions. And being somebody who, processes more through my mind and my mental body, it can be scary at times to really allow yourself to feel what's there. And what I find in group is that as you say, my personal experience is that I feel held. And so that part of me that, can be afraid at times to drop deeper or meet that energy that's needing to be met and acknowledged, that I can really feel the group consciousness hold me in being able to do that. So I'm less likely to run away, which is what I used to do.
We've all run away. I know that story.
And more comfortable to now you know, and it's a journey. So the experience each time you come and meet these parts of yourself is different. For me now, I welcome that opportunity. I used to keep it at arm's length, but now I welcome that opportunity. And so that's where I feel the true gift is, in coming together in a retreat, to be in that collective consciousness and to be in those pillars of light that hold us.
And you know what I love about retreats? And I've done this for 15 years, every retreat. I adore having retreats because we always do sacred ceremony wherever we go. So we don't just sit in a room for 7 days. I like to get out on land wherever we are. And, you know, if we're going to Glastonbury soon, so out we go to sacred stone circles. And we create ceremony together. And that's the other thing that I like. It's the co-creation of going and doing a sacred ceremony that's always around something that the group requires or needs. You know, it's never the same. We never ever do the same thing twice. But it's always that something comes out of that. There's a new understanding. And it's different for everybody in the group because everyone has a role to play in that sacred ceremony. And we're all working together, whatever it might be, working with a stone or, I mean, last year we did that amazing ceremony where we worked with the harmonizers walking down in Avebury, and everybody held that energy, and we did this procession, which was just took me back. And everyone, you know, and we were harmonized with the harmonizers, and it was just tingling.
It was.
Yeah.
Can I share an experience that I had?
Yeah, sure.
So when we were in Glastonbury last year, and I'm English, but I've never been to Glastonbury before. And it wasn't so much the Glastonbury location, but when we had our day trips to some different sacred stone circles, and we went to Avebury, and I'd never been to Avebury either. And it really took me back. I was, you know, quite shocked. And there's nothing, when you meet a consciousness, there's really nothing you can, well, you always have choice. You can shut down to the experience in the moment. But I stepped onto the land at Avebury, and it was the very first stone circle that I stepped into. And as soon as I walked through this gate,
the gateway in Avebury, there's a gateway you walk through there.
So it's like walking through this energy field. And as soon as I walked through this gate, you know, normal physical gate, but you're also walking through this energetic gate, all of a sudden, all these emotions came over me. And I just was deeply touched. My mind had no idea what I was being touched by. I couldn't hold back the tears. The experience was as if I was coming home in some way. My mind could only relate it to, oh, well, you must have had a past life here or something. But, you know, again, that's the mind. And still to this day, I've got no idea. It hasn't.
And I'm not going to tell her either, by the way.
Oh, no, that's not fair. No.
Do that, you know. I can just hear the minds all saying, oh, but Ishtar can tell you what it was, you know. But I'm not going to tell her what it was because this is her experience.
I'm going to bribe her later.
Because it's her experience, and it's really important to let that process through you. And whatever you're going to meet of that experience, you'll meet, you know, in whatever way you need to meet it. Yeah.
Which is why I'm also really excited about this year and coming back and visiting Glastonbury and Avebury and the other stone circle ceremonies that we did last year, and come back to these places and see what
we'll do something entirely different. Yeah, we will. Yeah, because we're working with twin flames, so we're working with very different energies.
And I might receive another piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, you might. And you might have a very deep connection with the Tor this time, because we're going to be working very much. In Avalon Tor, there is this amazing feminine being that I've met there numerous times. And she's very, very powerful. She sits in the Tor. It's a crystalline, beautiful, angelic sort of being. And we will go and connect with her this time, you know, because, and she's just, you know, and it's something that she offers to everybody that's different for everybody. And this is the thing to understand. what the person sitting next to you is going to receive and what you're going to receive. It's going to be two different things because you receive what you need to. And I receive every retreat. I have the most amazing experiences and and connections.
And what we also receive from each other when we come back after our days out, after our experiences, after the ceremony, after the very deep connections that we've had. And when we come back and we sit in circle again and share, that I've always found, it's like receiving keys from different people that help to unlock another part of yourself.
And that's what it is, isn't it? You know, we do, because coming together in group, in that sort of environment, everybody helps everybody to have a special key. And of course, always remembering that the masters have called us there to do this work. And so they also offer keys through the channels and the teachings that they offer when we're all sitting together and the guidance that they give. Because, you know, with me, the agenda doesn't really come through until we're there. And each day we get, you know, information about the masters, about what it is they want us to activate today. And often, you know, that can change during the day depending on the whole group. It's not just about me or you. It's about everybody. So where everybody's at on the day.
A real co-creation in the moment.
It is, yeah. And it's exciting. What are we going to do today?
I know. I mean, I've sat in a circle with you where, you know, you've whispered in my ear and gone, I've got no idea what we're about to do. We have to sit in silence for 5 minutes whilst
I receive. Yeah. And then we have this amazing and full day. You know, last year we did some amazing ceremony and activations. And it's always new because I've never done it before, when we worked on the Mary Magdalene ley line.
Yes.
And, you know, and really connected with parts of ourselves on an energetic way that no one had ever felt before. Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
That?
Outside and so
that was so powerful. And everyone had this great connection. So every day is different. You know? But the value, I think the other value is, and I love this, is we get to sit and have dinner with people that we maybe haven't seen for a while, or we've never, you know, we've met on Zoom, or we've never met, and from all over the world, because we have people that come from all over the world. We get to even go out shopping together in Glastonbury, or have high tea together if it's Glastonbury. We're going to India later on this year too, so, you know, that's going to be another thing altogether. But it's just that beautiful thing of creating friendships, and often they're lifelong friendships that you create from those amazing meetings. You know, looking into somebody's eyes and having this amazing connection with them, you know, over a ceremony that we do.
What I know for sure is that every time I have done a retreat and gone back home into the everyday life, there has been something that has shifted. There's something that you take home with you, and that impacts how you navigate life.
And at the end of the day, that's what this is all about, isn't it? Our spiritual journey is our life, and how we live our life is our spiritual journey. It's not separate. You know, the more we understand that about our spiritual journey, the more our life becomes enriched and flows with so much grace. So come along. Just come along. Come along, have a cup of tea in Glastonbury with us. Yeah, we might even have some scones and some jack. You know, definitely do that. Play with some crystals. There's a great crystal shop in Glastonbury.
Yes, there is.
Yes. Well, there's several, but we go to one in particular. Come along. Join us. Join us and come and do the sacred ceremony. I love the sacred ceremony. That to me is just, you know, when we go out and we do those ceremonies, it's just so beautiful. Just lights me up.
It is such a beautiful experience to connect with the land in that way.
Oh, it is, you know, to really have that energy connection with Mother Earth and the elementals and the spirits of the land, and Glastonbury is full of it. So and that's why I love it. Why we go there. It's the Earth Heart Portal. It's a great place to sit and really connect with presence.
So come and perhaps inquire a little bit more if you'd like to open your heart and your mind a little bit more deeply and make that deeper connection. Then come and have a look and see. We're in Glastonbury in June.
Oh, we can talk about, we're going to this. I'm really excited about this. We're going to go and do summer solstice.
Oh,
And
Stonehenge as well. Yes.
At the end of Glastonbury retreat, we're completing it with solstice at Stonehenge. And that's where I've never done that. I've been to Stonehenge many times, but I've never done solstice. I mean, it's with a lot of people, but it's going to be amazing.
I've driven past Stonehenge, but I've never, to my knowledge, I've never.
Oh my goodness!
My parents might say differently. Oh, we took you there when you were 5 or something.
Oh right.
But yeah. I don't actually consciously recall. I know I've driven past.
Right. Oh.
So I'm excited to go and
it's really great. I've been there. I was there before they got the fence around, and then they put the fence up. But we used to still stop on retreats and sit and meditate and connect with Stonehenge on the way out to Glastonbury. But for the solstice, when they open it up for everybody, and as I said, there'll be lots and lots of people there. There's no fence; you can get in. And that's the beautiful thing. And watching the sunrise at Stonehenge and solstice is pretty exciting.
So there you go. If you feel called, listen to that calling. Come and join us.
Yeah.
Can we connect and have some fun?